Hello, awakened beings. Welcome to this channel. Here I do tarot and oracle readings to support you along your spiritual journey. If that interests you, feel free to check out any other content on this channel as well as interact with this video as you feel called to. Today's reading is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is hidden messages. All right, I'll tune into a person and what they want to say to you. So let's tune in. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, hidden messages. Okay, Seven of Cups at the back of the deck. Ten of Swords. Nine of Cups. Knight of Cups. Okay. Clarify Ten of Swords. Okay. Clarify Nine of Cups. Honestly, this feels like a sensitive message, so that's why I'm just kind of slowing down so I can be what is it called? Empathetic, I guess, you know. Don't want to just be super blunt and direct. But yeah, this feels like a sensitive message. So, okay, Nine of Cups. Knight of Cups. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm getting is that I feel like this is primarily romantic. But if it's not romantic for you, then I feel like it could be, I mean, honestly, cups show up as, you know, friendships too. So I need to remember that. But basically this connection, there is love here. And I will say intimacy, because you can be intimate with a friend, you know, by being vulnerable and stuff like that. But ultimately, the main thing that I see is that this person honestly could have ghosted you, or just, you know, the relationship could have drifted apart. Okay, we have mysticism here. So they could have ghosted you. The relationship could have drifted apart with this Ten of Swords here, but under the Ten of Swords we also have Victim card. So I just feel like I do feel like maybe something wasn't seen eye to eye, like two people weren't on the same page about something, and somebody just felt like they needed to make a choice. And so with the Seven of Cups, this is somebody who is focusing on something particular, or exploring their options. And so with the Knight of Cups here and the mysticism, I just feel like, you know, they had to let somebody go and focus on a different cup. And so the different cup here is themselves, because we have Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is somebody who, you know, is on their own. And so look at this card too. This is somebody who is enjoying their hobbies. So honestly, I just feel like if a connection, you know, this connection here drifted away, or the person left suddenly, or whatever happened, I just feel like they're enjoying themselves. You or them are enjoying themselves, like on their own. So I do feel like this person just felt like they needed to go in a different direction, especially with the Destiny card at the back of the deck over here. We also have guilt underneath that. And we also have joy over there. But anyways, just with these two, with the Destiny and the guilt, I do feel like this person, somebody here had to leave to protect their peace, because Ten of Swords is, feeling like the connection. Look, this person is like underwater. So you could perceive this as, the connection drowning, but you also, with all the lighting and stuff, you can see it as an opportunity. And so that's why with this card is very much both. I always say it's the door closes, the other one opens type of card. But anyways, Ten of Swords primarily is this person like drowning, struggling, really about to meet their end. And so it just feels like somebody in this dynamic felt like a victim, or they felt like they didn't have any say in choices, like they couldn't fully be themselves. That is the key here. Somebody in this dynamic felt like they couldn't be themselves, and so now they're feeling like they can follow their passions. They can, focus on them and refill their own cups and, think about, like, make their own decisions. And so, and then look, the grass is blooming here. Sorry about that. There it is. Anyway, the grass is blooming back there. So I do see somebody who really just needed to take a break from a relationship or, a connection in general, and really just kind of shut people out a little bit in order for them to like regain a sense of themselves. Okay. And going back to these cards here with the guilt card, I do feel like, this person feels like they could have handled the situation a little bit differently, especially with the victim card. I do feel like maybe they wanted to talk about things, or, not necessarily talk about it, because I don't really get any swords energy here. But they feel like they could have went about it a different way that wouldn't have been like so, I don't know, I guess made them feel so remorseful or guilty. So yeah, this person doesn't like how the situation played out, but they do feel happy with, taking space for them and kind of closing off to the connection at this time. It's made them happier. It could even have made you happier. I don't know. I just tune into energy. But I feel like there's something else that wanted to come through. Yeah, they could have also left too, because they just felt like, so with the Ten of Swords, it's kind of like exhausting all options, right? When you get to the Ten of Swords, it's basically like, I've tried everything I could do and I just can't figure it out. And so this person could have felt like their only option was to just go away and leave. They couldn't think of anything else that would help the situation. So again, with this victim card, they could have just felt helpless of like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make this better. I don't know. I just don't know. And so they really felt like, stepping away here with the mysticism, and just allowing you to be happy or gain some sort of happiness outside of themselves, but also for them to, gain some sort of happiness outside of the connection, to fully like become aware of, get back to them. When people get into relationships, whether they're friendly or romantic, whatever it is, sometimes you can kind of lose yourself in those things. And so what I heavily feel in this reading is that this is somebody who kind of fell backed into a corner in terms of out of options. Not saying you backed them into a corner, but they just felt like they didn't know what to do. And so they felt like what they did do was the best outcome in order to bring joy to the situation, happiness to the situation. So if you're wondering, why they left or why they did what they did, or, how they're feeling about the situation, they do wish that it could have went differently, but they do also feel like what they did was the best option at the time, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's give you your last card here. Ambition. May I offer all my deepest longings to love itself and invite a divine plan beyond the mind's imagining. Please use me for the highest good. Yeah, especially with this Destiny card and Passion. For some of you, there wasn't anything really wrong with the situation. It could have been that they were presented, an opportunity to follow a particular passion or follow something that they felt like was aligned. And they had to kind of, sacrifice the connection in order to pursue that. Okay, so for some of you, it wasn't like this, big old fight or hard feelings or anything like that. It could have just been, they had to make a choice type of thing. But for others, the situation could be different. All right, so that is your reading. Thank you so much for tuning in, and good luck on your journey.